welcome to Doors and Corners, a sci-fi and fantasy film commentary podcast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Zach. And every Friday we sit down and watch a science fiction or fantasy film and give our 2 cents on its quality, production, story, and trivia.
We watch the film together, but without sounds or visuals provided to avoid copyright issues. But if you do have access, we encourage you to join us and follow along.
Here, we like to keep things casual, and there may be discussions of spoilers or sensitive materials or language. But we do try and keep things clean and family-friendly. Ultimately, the goal of this podcast is to create the experience of us all sitting down and watching this movie together.
So get ready to hit that play button, because we're about to get started.
Damn Doors and Corners, I mean, that's where they get you.
Welcome back to Doors and Corners. I'm Brian.
And I'm Zach, and as you know that we're going through The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. This is part 2 of 1. If you want to hear all of our extended thoughts on the beginning of this movie, go ahead and go back to part 1. We're going to be picking up halfway through the Fellowship of the Ring extended edition, starting at approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes and 35 seconds. You should see a tree and some cool buildings as we're panning downward. We're going to be getting started pretty fast. Brian, are you ready to go? Did you get your caffeine today?
I did. I'm ready to go. Let's do this thing.
Okay.
I'm going to hit that play button in 3, 2, 1, go.
Play! Oh, dude. The second half of this movie is possibly like my favorite part of the Lord of the Rings as a whole. Because, dang. Like, you have Moria. You have the battle at Emyn Muil. And it's all so good, and the death of Boromir. Did you know this movie technically goes into the Two Towers in terms of narrative?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it has don't realize that. My favorite book holder set of all time, the Argonath. Actually,
recently that's been in a whole bunch of jokes and memes. People talking about putting up the Argonath of America at the Mississippi River.
Oh, God.
It was really funny.
Don't remind me of depressing real world. I want to live in the fantasy.
That's true. That's true.
But no, I'm
escapism.
Drop is doing a Argonath desk mat that comes out next month, and I'm seriously considering getting it because it looks amazing. So, anyways,
I've thought about 3D printing them and making some bookends for myself.
Yeah. Oh, those sting. It's just a cool prop. Yep. It's a good prop.
Right? It's perfect. It really is. So much the set design. We keep talking about the set design. One of the interesting things I was going to mention was 2 particularly renowned Tolkien artists by the name of John Howe and Alan Lee. And Alan Lee, Peter Jackson sent him a copy of Peter Jackson's previous movie called Heavenly Creatures, or one of his previous movies, just to say, called Heavenly Creatures, and a pitch of saying, this is what I want to do with The Lord of the Rings. And they tracked the package, and supposedly they made sure it was delivered, and less than 3 hours after it was delivered, he called and accepted the job. And the other guy was living in Switzerland. And they called him at 2 a.m. because they messed up the time differences.
Whoops.
And he still agreed to do it.
That moment there.
Oh, that's right. This scene.
Oh, it's just that moment there. Just a tiny bit of CG. I mean, just a little tasteful CG, but it's so effective on Ian Holm's face there. And it's like,
he loved it so much that he took home one of the props because it was a puppet face.
Like the way it morphed in. I mean, I guess is the CG part of it, but it's
the CG morphing. But they actually made like a puppet of it.
If you want to know what the ring is, it's that right there. You know, like if you want to know why the ring, it's just because that's its power. And I just, I mean, my the pastor I grew up with actually would like mention that scene in like illustration as times of just, talking about various things. It's just such an effective little moment. And yeah, some good stuff.
Every single person like my age that I know who watched these movies a lot as kids would find that scene and pause it to try and get the perfect moment of angry Bilbo.
And this was on a lot of dust jackets and like box sets there. That shot of the Fellowship.
Yeah,
all standing, all posed.
They're all in their adventuring gear.
Yeah,
the party's going out. Level 1 fighter here.
Yeah, I do love Aragorn's just his like garb. It's so like, and you, again, behind the scenes stuff, you get like all the detail of just the little bits on it that you would never really even see that well, but just kind of speak to this is his road gear,
Oh yeah, well this the costume designer, a woman by the name of I think I'm pronouncing this correctly, Nagila Dickinson, did incredible costume designer. Even if she did do things like Madam Web later, she still did stuff like the frickin' Lord of the Rings, The Last Samurai, Xena, Dracula Untold, which was actually really funny, really fun, and she's Green Lantern also. Oh my god, I'm starting to regret saying she's great, but she has done excellent things like The Illusionist and Blood Diamond and such. But she loved the books, and she had descriptions of all the characters printed out, and she would try and add any detail that was mentioned in the books to the costumes, all the way down to like having brass buttons on Bilbo's waistcoat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You almost do think like, was this shot for the trailer? Is that like, did they shoot this for the trailer?
This is the one scene that looks a little green screeny, but then you have these big walking scenes from above with the helicopter passes.
Yeah. I love, by the way, a lot of these shots way up in the mountains, because the Sean Bean stuff, right? That he like hates to fly. He like just hates it. It was like, I'll just walk up. I'll leave early and all my stuff. So it was like Peter Jackson describing looking at the helicopters. He's flying up to where they're going to be filming and seeing Sean Bean in full Boromir gear, like climbing a mountain. It's like pretty epic.
I really like that scene right there. One, I love these rocks. I love rocks like this. The sum up near where we are. I used to go bouldering around them and stuff, but training Merry and Pippin that way, that is how you train people in swordcraft. You pretty much have specific moves or areas of the body that are put into either colors or numbers, and you call them out, and you have people, it's just like, I'm going to attack section 1, so you need to block at section 1. And so him calling out 1, 3, 2, the way that he does, is actually how you would train somebody to use a sword.
I love that they actually get Aragorn there, and there's an apple again. They keep popping up. But that also, that little scene is great too, because you see that moment where, like, Sean Bean has like a tender moment with the hobbits. I think that's an important part of, again, he is a multifaceted character. You were talking about that.
Yeah, he is a good man who is weak of will.
He is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. This scene though, with them hiding from these crows, right out of the book, like the descriptions of the way that the scene is, outside of they're hiding in rocks instead of being pulled into holly bushes, and even then you have the scene of Boromir there in the bushes. It's so close. It's ripped right from the pages. Yeah. Them training the hobbits and swords, Gimli being all grumpy, and the just cloud of these giant crows. Love it.
Oh. He looks at the mountain, you're like, we're going to, what?
Right?
That just sounds like a
There's
bad
so
idea.
many things in these scenes.
Yeah.
So many things in these scenes that's just incredible. Like, Sean Bean he hiked 3 hours to film these scenes where everybody else was helicoptered in. And that shot right there,
yeah,
that ring is a giant ring. It's like several inches across. They had to use forced perspective to get it look just right.
This whole again, this part you just it's a character moment. The way this just plays out, the tension, kind of in the rest of the group. This is just a masterfully done scene.
And for anybody who doesn't know how it's going to end, it really raises these questions. You've seen his lust for the ring, or not even lust, his desire for it, for his people. It shows him, he gives it back. He's tender with the hobbits. You're not sure where this is going to go, because there's this question of, is he going to turn on them and be evil, or is this going to be something that he overcomes into a hero moment? And it's a little bit of both, because you're expecting the trope to just kind of go one way or the other. And oh man, that scene, just the hand on the sword.
Yep.
It's a
Oh,
powerful
here we
one.
get this other tracking shot. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the crows.
The
And again,
one-
I mean, so you're saying this is the music cue that came from something else, kind of the drum. Dum dum dum.
uh, this is a riff on it. There's another
Okay.
part earlier where it played it in true, but this is Howard Shore's kind of addition to it.
Okay. It's effective for sure. The Orokai are just also like the guys that got into. I mean, 'cause you have the orcs, the goblins, and the Orokai, right? So you've got
Correct.
yeah, because the goblins are like
Legolas.
he's light on his feet, quite literally.
He's just elfing along.
This is like this fake snow. I remember watching behind the scenes on like filming this, and they're just like it's just miserable on the set. I mean, obviously they're not on the side of a mountain. But they're like, no, it was just as bad. Like this set was just the fake snow was nasty. I guess
this is some of the best looking fake snow I've ever seen.
oh yeah.
Like fake snow is so hard to get right, and this looks good.
Yeah.
Well,
and part of it too is they actually look cold. So often you see actors in like snowy scenes, and they don't look like it's like freezing. Like this, like they really do look like they're freezing.
Well, I think part of that is just kind of how horrible the fake snow is, and they're like, having the obvious wind, like fake wind in their faces, and they're trying to guard their faces against this foul foam.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what you said it too. Part of what makes it convincing to be really, really cold is just being miserable. So, it's a trick for any filmmakers out there. If you want to, get convincing cold, just make your actors miserable, and it'll work.
Yeah. But this whole scene here, like, look at how good that fake snow looks.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not actually convinced that's fake snow right there. I know that it is, but
yeah. I mean,
it's so rare for fake snow to look that good.
Oh. It's where there's just this whole thing, the way it's sticking to their clothes, just wet and cold, and oh man, it's sticking to. I love his beard, the beards.
They sell the desperation really well of being okay with going into Moria,
but also they're selling you on that Gandalf took a shot at this way because he was that worried about Moria. I mean, obviously they have a little bit of flash over, to Saruman here also, but they're really doing a good job setting you up for Moria before you even get there.
Yeah. And, like putting all the responsibility on him. He doesn't know all the information.
He does not have the information needed to make a wise decision.
It's just like he's still like perpetual spring dwelling little gnome people. I genuinely believe that hobbits were made from kind of the gnome legends. Oh, that shot right there.
Yeah.
Like, I love how like lived in the world feels. It has all the ruins because some movies do the ruins and some movies don't. And it's always hard to make it feel genuine, not just like, here's a cool ruins set piece thing. But this one, it feels genuinely like, this random freaking ruin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is, again, we're on an adventure in the Third Age, at the end of the Third Age. This is an old world. It's been through a lot. I mean, you get into the the other material about Middle Earth, and Middle Earth has already been through a number of traumatic events and civilization.
This is the Third Age.
Yeah, so it's nice that it's there, but they don't. Honestly, probably the most indulgent it gets is when they get here into Moria. As far as like the whole thing is kind of technically a ruin, right? But man, this is just grand. This
love ruins.
This is. I love to subtly mixing in humor here. And the movie does it well, especially as you get more into. Merry and Pippin, obviously, and then Legolas and Gimli are just great at those little moments of levity, but never at the expense of the drama.
No, they have a Kirk and Spock thing. Not Kirk and Spock. They have a Spock and McCoy thing going on.
Yeah.
You know, the sophisticate and the brute, and I love it. Uh, what
But
do you
they,
think of the whole Watcher in the water thing?
I mean, I think the scene is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's scary. I remember it being very effective in in the theater, especially when the like mouth got. It reminded me of 20th Leagues Under the Sea. The great
Yeah.
squid coming up and grabbing the Nautilus. Just being like,
It's,
this is terrifying.
it felt really weird to me
Yeah.
the first time I remember because I thought that it was going to be like really important. All it does is block their exit. It's just a random thing that exists, and I was just like, I was sad that we didn't get to see more of it. I knew about the Balrog, and I thought that it was supposed to be the Balrog.
See,
You know?
I think that it's I mean, you if you want an interesting journey, right? You got to put obstacles in the way. And there's just
Hmm.
no way around the fact that some of them are just like random crap that just happens. That
Yeah.
this random creature was here and made this a real problem, and this random and not the Balrog, some random creature. There's actually some really interesting lore there, along with the Watcher also. But it's I don't mind it. It like the sequence itself is good. The fact that it's all shot basically like on a parking lot, like outside the studio, is also really impressive.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Bill the
Belushi's okay.
Pony, who had a much bigger part in the books.
Yeah,
It's a badass horse.
don't worry, Sam. He knows his way home. I like that they do continually kind of keep the whole hobbits are they like to throw rocks. They're also very good at throwing rocks, but just kind of they kind of find ways to put that in on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, with the
Um,
Watcher, I didn't honestly think of it one way or the other. I just remember thinking like, oh, it's just they're creating some tension here. Uh, the idea that there's just an old creature in this just makes sense to me. That just this is a kind of an abandoned place that there would just be something hanging out that's kind of nasty.
yeah.
Interesting too.
I
They
I want
they
to know what it
changed,
looks like,
yeah, like the
like
full
fully.
form
Mm-hmm. Melon.
because they gave that to Frodo, right? That wasn't Frodo that figured that out, but they like
No, it was Gandalf who figured it out eventually.
yeah. And then here we get battery pack Gandalf, where he's got he's got a battery pack under his robes when he turns
You
on
got
his
like a
little.
cool little crystal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes simple tricks are the best.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for those who don't know, he had to be rigged up with a battery pack on his belt for this light to work in this special staff, and it was like running through his hand like the entire time that it's lit up in all the scenes, and it caused some problems.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Like, oh yeah, we just didn't notice all the dead bodies hanging around.
Yeah.
The timeline of the fall of Moria is weird to me. Um, I should have refreshed myself on it, but like he thinks that they're all hanging out, but they're all like decomposed. Like, how long has it been since they've heard from Moria? I think it's supposed to be something like 15 years or whatever, but
Yeah, it does seem
it's just
like the
timelines.
state of it. Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't refreshed myself on how quickly a body can look
Hmm.
that way.
Yeah.
But okay, now it's just time to run.
Yeah.
Although, but they are feeling here very much the well, Moria doesn't seem like a great choice, but now we got this to deal with. I mean, I
Yeah.
like the idea like what would cause them to go in, even considering what they just found, and
Yeah.
this is a good reason. I also
Hmm.
like the idea that the Watcher in the Water was drawn specifically to Frodo because he had the ring. Like the ring is a big part
Yeah.
of why it came after them because it was drawn to
Yeah.
the power.
It always looked kind of like an old man at first before it like opened that little mouth thing. I thought it was supposed to be like an old man's head. Um, but it's got because it looks almost like it's got a beard of tentacles and it's like this weird krakeny thing. I was reading a little bit about some of the special effects, and actually there was some stuff done by ILM in the movie Deep Rising that came out in 96 or 97
Hmm.
that used a whole bunch of tentacles like that.
Uh huh. We're stuck here.
Moria.
I always thought Moria. It really felt like big but claustrophobic. Like how do they, just kind of the idea of being underground where they're not by any means like crawling through like stone Jeffries tube, so to speak, but it still is just oppressively. I think just into the lighting that it's just usually be like this is very boring, right? It's just gray on gray on gray, but it's kind of what you need here, and it just works to establish the mood of this place.
Yes, it definitely is the lighting, because there are several shots that they do. Like right here, they have kind of just the ambient light. Okay, it just kind of exists that there is light.
Yeah.
But later they have a couple of scenes that just have those really deep, dark blacks that it gives a jagged, oppressive nature to the lighting. Like right here.
Yeah.
Like half the screen right now is black, and they're on that narrow ledge, so it feels claustrophobic.
Yeah.
And but even though it's a very large space, it feels like a dangerous, treacherous path.
Yeah. Also, too, just getting lost in here, right? Because it's not like they have a ton of supplies. Like water would be definitely an issue here. This is a good shot. Again, I mean,
great shot.
It's some of these shots you can tell like the resolution is a little more 2001ish on some of those big shots, but it still looks really good.
Yeah. Well, they've actually touched up some of them for like the 4K releases. In the third movie, during the Paths of the Dead, they actually have done some stealth remastering.
That's a great little line, yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm wearing that, I guess." I also do appreciate that they set it up a little bit before we do actually get to the cave troll scene.
Yeah, and they remind you of it with that little line. Yeah, it's well done.
Yeah, just we got the I always wondered, were they trying to be okay? You remind me if this is a line straight out of the book. I feel bad for not remembering this. I know this is after we have another little bit of dialogue here, but the whole always follow your nose. It's like I always think of Fruit Loops. I'm sorry.
It's been so long since I've read it. I really don't remember.
That's all right. It doesn't really matter. Here, though, we do have a little bit more natural lighting they let in here. I think it's because they're just going to be, kind of staying here for a little bit. They let it get a little more colorful.
Yeah.
This,
so it adds the firelight,
Yeah. So Gollum, they were still working on how they wanted them to look. They hadn't finalized everything, as far as, what we obviously got in Two Towers. I like the hand here and kind of some of the, it looks good. His eyes and,
it's a little uncanny. Like the special effects for Gollum between this and the next one are insane.
Oh yeah.
Like the jump in quality that 1 year of post-production allowed for them.
But if you're right, but I guess I just want to say that it's a good way that if you're not quite there, the way to do it with lighting and still make it, work and just be effective, I think, is it's and they don't linger on it too long. It's short enough that you're just like, okay, they're being stalked by this creature. And I did this whole exchange. It's a famous exchange here, but it's so well done. And what's being said almost seems
earlier in the book.
Yeah, but it seems almost like obvious and cliche. But there's a reason why people need to remind each other out loud of these truths at times, right?
Yeah.
Of just not being too harsh to judge, about looking at your own circumstances, through the correct lens. I mean, it's just these principles here are foundational to life.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't remember in the book when this discussion about Smeagol came, but this part with the "I wish the ring had none never come to me, wish that none of it had ever happened," that was back in Hobbiton. Because this is for a certain generation pretty profound.
Yeah.
You have to think about when this was released. This was released in December of 2001.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I think this movie is so beloved, not just its quality and how good it is, but this was the type of movie that people wanted to go see post 9/11. So, you're 2 months after 9/11 and you're getting this type of moral lesson in it
Yeah.
of like, I wish none of this had ever happened. It's like, so do all who see such dark times, and it's what we do with the time that's given to us that matters. That hit for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it really ingrained this movie in so many hearts.
Yeah, I fully agree. It's because, again, like I said, it's there are things that while they may be and seem obvious, and unfortunately then what happens is people kind of don't give them the energy that they need, and they tend to move past them and let them kind of get lost in the hustle of life and the emotion of the grind, so to speak. And it's important. It's important to there's a whole rant here, I guess, about, I'll spare you, but I'm just saying about why traditions are important, why things that are holidays and moments that we like stop and like hit touchstones of our culture and moral truths and ideas. I mean, those are all important. I think this was a really cool way of hitting some of them in a way that, like you said, the timing was really I don't know if it was good, if that's the right way to put it, but the timing was effective.
Poignant. It was poignant timing.
Yes, it was. So this, though, I like that we've had this slow here, because coming up, this is one of my favorite action scenes in like this entire trilogy. It's
same.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Gimli's performance, John Rhys Davis here as Gimli, is just great. The light beam, it's super. I mean, even if it's a little bit, painting versus like practical, like where is that light coming from? It still just looks awesome and it's very effective.
Yeah. So another one of the things here is that there's some writing on the walls in places, in some of the Middle Earth languages that people felt were like disrespectful, because it was kind of like, Bob was here type of stuff. But then there's this idea, it's just like, well, so some of them were jokes, but orcs and goblins are known to vandalize things, so it's just vandalism. But apparently there's some rude jokes written on the walls here.
You gotta
also
let,
that
you gotta let a
corpse.
crew. You gotta let a crew have fun. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, the corpse here at his knee. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't remember.
That's Nori. From The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be one of the 13 dwarves who Bilbo traveled with in The Hobbit. The one with like a really smooth face.
Yeah.
He's like really one of the younger ones. But
yeah, it's
strange.
The Did you ever play? You said you played most of the Lord of the Rings games, correct?
Yes.
Did you play the big the one like it's kind of the Final Fantasy-esque type game? I forget what the title of it was. And you like it basically you kind of play another fellowship that's like tracking basically. It's an excuse to play the entire trilogy without actually playing as any of the main characters.
The MMO?
No, not the big massive, not the online one. This was
it was like 3 characters that you could choose from. You could choose the human, the dwarf,
the
right?
elf, or the dwarf, and you would end up in the battles with the main characters.
Yeah.
Okay. But I remember
I didn't play the whole thing. I wanted to really badly, but I didn't have a job at that time. I was like 16 when it came out. I'm like, I want this so bad, but I couldn't find a job where I was living because it was freaking boonies and I couldn't afford it.
Okay. Because I remember that this one, you're down, like when you're going through Moria, because I mean, it's very like, the whole game is very, what would you even call it? Like, it's just very forced.
Yeah.
But you are down where that bucket lands and the corpse lands, and you like hear the exchange. Because you're like basically pacing.
Funny.
Yeah, you're like pacing the fellowship.
Yeah.
Through this movie. Anyways,
I like stuff like that.
Yeah,
That does
fun.
tend to be pretty funny. Because like I didn't play that one. I played like Lord of the Rings online. I played the Lego Hobbit, Battle for Middle Earth, The Two Towers, The Return of the King, Oh, there were others.
It was the War of the North and the Third Age. Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings, the Third Age is what I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah, I never played that one. Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor, which
Yeah.
were great games, terrible Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I love this stuff. This is such a stinking good scene.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk. I just want to watch it. I just want
Oh
to
yeah.
soak it all in. Um, yeah, the Third Age.
So Lord of the, I
But
mean,
this, yeah.
Legolas just being cool, and man,
Well, the Rangers, who were a tribe of humans essentially who became nomads, were well known for their like incredible archery skills.
this is also
Um,
like this is a well done fight. I want to talk about this balances the chaos of a battle, but you don't completely lose track of what's going on because a lot of times in battles like this, it's very difficult to keep track of the events and the I mean, there's little moments where you're like, what's happening to some of these people? But you just like by introducing, I think the cave troll here was a great way to keep it from devolving into just a bunch of very similar looking creatures, fighting with your heroes and kind of giving them like something to work, together on, while at the same time you have the other goblins who are like, around. And I don't know, it's well crafted. It's well structured as a fight.
yeah, I always liked it because you still had the orcs going on, and they had such a good visceral, real, um, like tactile sense to them, right? And then you have this big CGI creature that's pawing around, but it looks really good. And this is going to sound weird, but they actually give the troll character.
They do. Oh yeah. Well,
Um,
when it dies, you actually kind of feel like, oh, like for like a moment. It's and that's like
Yeah.
that's cool. Like,
well, you get this feeling like it's got this chain, right? And the chain is actually
Yeah.
attached to this spiked collar that is
things have a sucky life.
designed after the spike collars that they put on fighting dogs.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be kind of a cruel looking thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. The goblins have just used and abused this thing.
Yeah, you poor little guy. The design of the troll is also really interesting. If you look at it, it has like the soft, smooth underbelly, but like you see that scene where Legolas shoots it in the head with the arrow, and the arrows like shatter.
Yeah.
And its back is also like rocky and pebbly. This would be a very formidable creature.
This moment where it like jumps around the corner. Oh,
Jump scare.
oh, may smell his breath.
Ugh.
Yeah, but yeah, you can imagine that this troll basically spent a lot of its time kind of curled up on its stomach, like just asleep in a sunless room.
Yeah. It has so many different weapons that it finds. Like, where did Aragorn find this fork? This trident.
Oh,
Did the orcs have it to like usher it in?
Maybe. I mean, I also feel like this room was full of various dwarven implements also.
Yeah,
From the fight before.
because like
This
it has
still,
a
though-
mace at one point. It has a hammer.
Yeah.
It uses the chain. Thing goes through an arsenal, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now, even though it wouldn't be able to penetrate Mithril, the blunt force would still be like, substantial.
It's like, okay, so your level 3 body armor can stop a shotgun slug. It doesn't mean you're gonna live.
Say the physics of kinetic energy still apply.
Just a teeny bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. I always love to. This is one of like two places like this and in Gondor at the end where you really get to see Gandalf, kind of throwing down and using like his staff and a sword at the same time. Always looked cool. I thought that
He
did a good job.
Mm-hmm. I had the Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers on Game Boy Advance, and one of the playable characters was Gandalf, and he was always so much fun to play because he would do these like twirly things with his staff and his sword.
Yeah, this right here though, this is a death that
There's
like,
emotion in it.
it is, and it also again, like you're like, oh, we got it, but they it's a well wrapped up action scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they give you just enough time to catch your breath before we get going again. But
Yeah.
so the two towers on is the reason I was able to convince my wife to let me buy a PlayStation 2 because the Two Towers video game, because they didn't have like there was a Fellowship video game, but the Two Towers, which was in the same vein as the Return of the King game a year later.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Fellowship of the Ring game wasn't based after the movies. It was an adaptation of the book.
Yeah, when they did the straight out of so my wife, who's as big a fan of these as I am, I keep saying my wife, it is my ex-wife if anybody's curious, but big Lord of the Rings fan.
I wasn't going to mention it.
Yeah, that's all right. It's fine. The theme kicks in there, but that's the reason I was able to get a PS2 was because she wanted to watch me play that game. And then Return of the King, I remember just like getting into the combat and going through those. I played the heck out of those games. It was a lot of fun back then.
I like the continuity of the light beam that comes in, but it also gives it an ambient light that makes sense.
Yeah.
So one thing that I was going to mention earlier at the beginning of the movie in our last episode, there was a new technology that they developed for this movie that was called the Massive Engine.
Mm-hmm.
And it allowed for the generation of independently working AI.
Gollum's eyes.
Oh, dude,
the goblin's eyes. Yeah,
orc always stuck out in my. Goblin always stuck out.
Yeah, but to say these are goblins, right? These are not orcs.
Yeah, these would be goblins. Though the line between goblins and orcs is a little muddy. Orcs are like specifically the ones that were screwed up by.
I love that, like Gimli, he like thinks for a second, like, yeah, I scared him off. Go ahead.
But the Massive Engine allowed them to create all like thousands of little soldiers that actually moved right.
Oh, such a great line in here, just from like him. I'm like
Ian
waiting
McKellen's
for it.
performance from here on out is just
it's so good. I'm just like anticipating this. This foe is beyond any of you.
It's the way that it's moving, like the light and everything. I didn't understand how it was moving when I was younger. I was always confused as to why it was just seemed like a wall of orange. But then you figure out, oh, it's behind all those pillars.
Yeah.
And the light's like filtering through. It's not coming straight at you. It's off kilter and it's coming fast.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this set piece, this is that digital meets practical. This is so good. This is 25 years old now, Brian.
Yeah.
And this looks better than some Marvel stuff that's put out today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I also I remember in behind the scenes them talking about that on the script. This literally just says like, run down some stairs to the bridge of Khazad-dûm, and like, okay, we gotta do something. And so they like kind of improvised this whole sequence with the staircase, crumbling and all that.
Yeah.
The score here, just this whole sequence.
The chanting. So I got down a rabbit hole here looking up the Third Age, and it doesn't exist.
You would have to go
even on like Galaxy of Games.
No, yeah, you would have to literally buy the disc on eBay and go buy an original Xbox.
It's got to be some sort of emulator somewhere. Oh, okay. I love some of the details here, okay? The arrows are moving. They're wiggling, which is not something you would really think of. The only arrows that don't wiggle in midair, because they actually do wiggle, it's how the stabilizing of an arrow works, are Legolas's magic elven arrows. But the ones that the orcs shoot, if you look really closely, they're actually like wobbling a little bit, and they did that on purpose.
Oh, I love how we revisit this later in Two Towers.
Yeah.
Nobody's awesome. Jump the bid.
Dude, jumps like that. It's freaky. A buddy of mine, name is Zayn. We were once doing waterfall jumping at this secret place up here in the foothills. and he was like so scared of it, but he needed to do it, and he jumps, and he kept like hesitating to jump, and he almost like fell headfirst down this waterfall and would have died. And we eventually banned him from even trying because he was gonna constantly hesitate, and if he hesitated, he died. It was a good
I
time.
always like think of, okay, so this was a little bit of a, they didn't really know what they were going to do. And like, Aragorn's just like, all right, we just got to stay put here for a second and just see what happens. And
Like, let's shift our weight here.
but then they kind of lucked
This
out
is-
on the debris. But I mean, again, this is one of those things where, they kind of got saved by, I don't know, call it a good coincidence or something. But it's just, you just don't care. You just go with it.
That was one of those scenes that always confused me. I'm like, did they need that scene of extra peril in here?
I don't think they needed it, but I think that it still is very effective. Like, it just gives it a little bit. I think if you had jumped, I think pacing wise you do, because I think if you had them, this foe was beyond, and they literally just ran downstairs while being shot at with arrows, and then you went to this, I think it would have felt too fast. I think you needed a little more time for the audience to kind of like, okay, this thing is chasing us. This thing is chasing us. This thing is chasing us. It's getting closer. It lets that tension build for an additional, couple minutes there.
Yeah.
And I do think that
the design of the Balrog.
Oh yeah, I think it's better for it, even if it seems a little bit extra for the sake of peril. I think if you took it out, the scene would be worse.
Yeah.
Not the scene, the sequence. I mean,
yeah. This whole thing here. Okay, so one of the things in Tolkien's works is that there are creatures that are so evil. The evil radiates off them like a black cloud. And they added that in here. And it's so good. Shelob, her mother Ungoliant, the Balrogs, some of the dragons all had that happen,
Yeah.
So
now Weta. Well, I was just say, didn't Weta really break ground here on their flame effects?
Yes. It is so hard to get digital flame, even today. And this is some of the first that was just perfect.
Yeah. And again, the fact that this does not look like 25-year-old CGI.
No. Man, that You Shall Not Pass, though, just this whole scene is vastly overused word these days of iconic. This is genuinely iconic.
Yeah.
This is remembered to this day. People quote this to this day. It's film history.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, oh man.
Oh, so one thing I was going to say, you know how Sting glows blue?
Mm-hmm.
What's his face? Gandalf's sword, Glamdring, was supposed to do the same thing, glows blue in the presence of orcs. But it looked too much like a lightsaber, and so they had to remove the effect.
Interesting. Now, really fast, I want to point out two things. One, the score here is just like haunting. That single just note. I mean, I believe it's probably like a young choir boy doing this note, but it's just hauntingly beautiful.
I'd also point out that the extremely famous line of "You shall not pass" isn't in the book. It's "You cannot pass."
Mm-hmm. Well, but I think it was made a little better, honestly.
I agree, actually.
There are some little moments where, and this is the thing, it's not disrespectful to say an amazing author can have some things that can be approved. Like, it doesn't diminish them, and that's where people get all defensive about that. And it's like, I guarantee whichever of the screenwriters, made that change, loved and respected Tolkien. And it was, any change was not in some way of like, I'm going to make it better. It was just, I'm going to tweak it because this is an adaptation. And there's nothing disrespectful about that when it's done in the right spirit.
One of my favorite moments.
This whole sequence is just
such good grief. And I feel like you have these things that's like, you got the stages of grief going on in a good way.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, one of my favorite movies.
Just getting up and go ahead. You talk, because I'm just.
Oh no,
I'm just gonna
our
wax on.
point has already gone by. It's
Well,
it's
okay.
bygone. I'm
Did
just caught up in
you-
the scene now. He's so
Yeah.
sad.
He is. The other thing too is, so I knew several people that did not know the books, and this was a big moment because if you didn't know, like Gandalf's dead,
Yeah.
and there is no telegraphing here of any kind. They don't even give you a remember, like Wrath of Khan does. And
Yeah.
I mean, I knew people who were like angry, like how could they do? Like they actually didn't like the film as much because they were so upset about Gandalf's death. And I was very good at that time of just like, I'm not going to say anything.
But he's the Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
You got to have the death of the mentor. It's so integral to the hero story.
Yeah.
I'm really sad that they spoiled the return of
In the trailers.
Gandalf in the trailer for Two
Yeah.
Towers. That was a bummer of a thing.
It's always hard because you're like, is it a spoiler? It's an old book, but there's a lot of people who are seeing this. Yeah, I agree with you. It would have been better if they had not.
Hmm.
So,
My cat has zoomies. Darting around here.
it's Lorien.
Psychic Galadriel. Like, this character, one of the reasons why, I get why they made the Rings of Power as a show. Centering it around Galadriel was a mistake. Because she's like a demigod. And has been for thousands of years. It was a mistake to make that show about Galadriel, because even in this, she has these psychic conversations with these people like simultaneously, just reaching out to them. It's freaky. They make her as scary as they make her beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to do.
Another example of just perfect casting, though, is getting Cate Blanchett to play her. Just, I can't think of a better actress for that role.
Yeah. Well, they were they wanted, or they were considering Kate Winslet.
She's a very talented actress, but no.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Well, I mean, this was 3 years after Titanic?
Yeah, she was.
It's the name,
Well, and Cate Blanchett, while being a very respected actor, was not like a big name.
Thinking about her like polar opposite in the form of Hela from Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
That's funny to think about. So this was the thing that happened in the book. They barred Frodo entrance. It was deleted from the theatrical cut, and it makes sense. Like, why do they need to have this scene of them like waiting outside of Lothlorien to be let in? It's not a useful scene.
Yeah, and this is where there are honestly most of the scenes in the extended cut. I can totally understand why they would end up on the cutting room floor. But the biggest reason to put this in would be right here, this conversation with Boromir.
Yeah. Yeah, you see him like, you think that he's gonna be all like, give me the ring, you're carrying such a heavy burden, but it's actually like him being kind of nice,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, and even that he was the one who was like, give them a moment, just that Aragorn just immediately going like, I have to now take this on, and I don't, the burden of leadership to be like, I have to be the one person who doesn't get to grieve right now because I have to keep this thing moving. Just got to shove that down and move on. That's.
Are you familiar? Before we get here, kind of to change tone a little bit, are you familiar with the YouTube video of they're taking the hobbits to Isengard?
Doesn't ring a bell. Now I'm afraid.
I'm going to send you a video you need to watch before we do the next one. It's going to ruin some things about this movie for you. And one of them is, for me, is here with Galadriel and her husband, Celeborn. and his wooden acting. Like, it's the most woodenly delivered line in the whole series.
Yeah.
Tell me, where is Gandalf? For I much desire to speak with him.
What's weird is
Like,
I recognize this actor as doing like
mhm.
he's played like B villains and stuff, right? Hasn't he played like Russian mobsters or something?
Oh, so many. He like gets his, I want to say his finger cut off or something in like
I mean,
Mission Impossible 2.
he feels like
Uh,
the no, it wasn't him, but he feels like the kind of guy that John Wick has killed.
yes, he. That's a great way of describing it. We're talking stuff like, a recurring role on Xena. Um, wait, he was Poggle the Lesser in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, it is. It
This
is
guy's in
super
everything.
stiff. Yeah, this is just like okay.
Gandalf, for I much desire to speak with him. Somebody pretty much technoized that line and turned it into a song, as well as other lines from The Lord of the Rings. And it gives me a chuckle because every time I think about it, it gets stuck in my head. I mostly know the guy from the movie Kingdom of Heaven, which is another movie that is made so much better by an extended edition. He plays the main bad guy, this guy named Guy de Lusignan. And he's this obviously French crusader who's an utter bastard. And actually, what's his face here? Orlando Bloom faces off against him.
Oh yeah, yeah. That is one that yeah, the extended cut's much better. So there was
Yeah.
interesting. Whatever they do, you can see like in the eyes, and I was immediately thinking of in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, they have the in the space dock, they have like those big like octagon thing, like with a bunch of lights like moving out of the way when the Enterprise is leaving. That they had
Yeah.
versions of something like that, basically shining in the eyes of Gladriel to get like the sparkly light reflection in her eyes, like
Hmm.
all the little individual bits of light you can see there.
Yeah.
Pretty
Literally
cool.
every single time that she was on screen, she had these lights shining in her face.
Like, don't blink. Don't look
Yeah.
like we're blinding you right now. I do like how they give her kind of like almost, not almost, they flat out very much make her like luminescence. Like she is a source of light herself in this movie.
Well, there is so much to freaking Galadriel, okay? There's a scene later in the movie that I'm just going to go ahead and jump to it right now,
Go for it.
where she's giving them gifts, right? And Gimli is like, I asked for only a single lock of from her golden head. He asked for a hair, and she gave him three. When, like, literally a guy asking for a lock of her hair in the First Age and her denying him because he was an evil man and she could see it in his heart. She denied him that, and he started a war that literally led to the destruction of half the world because he was angry at Galadriel. Um,
I mean,
like,
most wars can go down to sexual frustration, so
it's like
Sorry.
it's such a huge thing.
It's true though, right? Eh? Anyways, yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
she's a character who I wish had, yeah. I mean, you know what? Again, these. What's interesting though is that these films again, they've never been. I never felt like they were somehow tainted, and the frustration I had with some of the other Tolkien stuff that's been done. Like these movies just still are like, it doesn't matter. They're still great. I love Sam
Yeah.
here.
You know,
He's just
I
trying,
actually recently
you know?
they needed a good character moment for him somewhere around here,
He
and it
hasn't
didn't
had
much make
much.
sense.
Yeah, well, but he hasn't had anything for a little while, and I'm glad that they gave him just a little like, and yeah, it's a little corny, and he just like, but it's just he tried, he wanted to, he's an awkward hobbit.
He is an awkward little hobbit man.
And
Um,
the little bit of story in Gimli was just great too. Just that little tiny moment, just like
and
smacks
also
him.
him hitting him like, pay attention to his crappy poem.
Oh. But then here, the idea
Yeah.
that like Gladriel has just seen him and like just kind of peeled him open.
Yeah, it'd be brutal
Yeah.
to like, because Galadriel carries one of the three elven rings. and she's got intense power. She's like the oldest elf in existence.
Yeah, like I mean, you think Elrond is high up there, and Gladriel's on a whole nother level.
Yeah, like she's been around since the beginning. Um,
Well, because
Demigod is the best way to put it.
I'm trying to remember. Again, I'm sorry for hardcore lore nerds that I'm not remembering this. She wasn't born in Middle Earth, right? She came to Middle Earth like as a like
Oh, I don't remember.
because Elrond was
I feel
actually
that's
born
something
in
I should
Middle Earth.
know.
Yeah, I know. You know what I mean? Like, but they're like the number of elves who are still here that were not born here. Like they've been here that
Mhm.
long, and then there's only like a handful of them. I think that she's one of them, if I remember.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Please comment. I'd love to hear it. But
Tell us
this,
how we screwed up. That's the best way of
yeah,
doing things.
I do. I like this moment though, where they talk about Gondor though, because in this first film, it's just, it's this massively important location to the story, but it doesn't enter into this film at all. And I like that
No.
they give it a little bit of moment. Also, just the fact that it matters. Like they again, this moment like Boromir being kind of peeled open emotionally, and then being very emotionally real with Aragorn. I mean, with it's good. It's just again, it's like the character development he goes through is great.
hmm And it has that bonding moment between them, that they needed because it makes the ending between the two of them so much more poignant.
Yeah, if that was the first real scene they had with any kind of emotional honesty, it would have been. Yeah, they needed something else before they get to that fantastic death scene.
hmm Oh man, like so many people, especially in today's world, we discuss topics like toxic masculinity, and one of the things is that what's the best way to phrase this? Aragorn represents like the cure to toxic masculinity as it exists in the world today.
Yeah,
His behavior in this movie is what all men should kind of strive to be. It's weird to say, but I think that he is like the best role model in movies, like for men and boys. As weird as that might sound.
yeah. No, I hear you. I think he's definitely one of the best there. He's just we were talking about. He's that combination of what you want. You want somebody who's it's the biblical word would be meek. It's just strength under power.
Mhm.
Strength under control.
Strength kept under control.
Yeah, strength under control. Just the idea of somebody who is strong and is capable, but also is wise and is tender and is aware of his own flaws, and that balance is what you would strive for, what you'd want. The kind of leader who is aware of his fallacies, and basically somebody who just
Yeah.
is self-aware and who tries. That's the simplest way to put it.
One of the best ways that I heard it put is that when he shows up, you're like, oh, good, he's here. Our problems are going to get solved. Like, he is never like, oh no, Aragorn's here. We're going to have more problems. He's a reassuring presence, and he proves it through his actions. He's not boastful about it. He is tender towards like the other men that he's with without being creepy or weird. Um, and it's so many good things you can say about how he's characterized in this thing. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, it's that whole sequence too. That's as closest we ever get to the to seeing
The
end
Scouring of the
book.
Shire.
Yeah. But it's this whole sequence is good too because I mean, this is the only time Galadriel's in this film, right?
Yeah.
And but it establishes her so well, but also too the idea that she is kind of the catalyst to kind of push Frodo to the decision he makes at the end of the film to understand, the what he needs to do. But then also, why Sam is so amazing to go with him. But
Right.
it's funny. I'm like thinking about Elijah Wood. So much of what makes it work in this movie is just him looking the right way, just like staring at the camera with the right look on his face is
His big
2/3 of like
goofy-ass
why.
eyes.
Yeah, it's like 2/3 of why he's effective as a character. It's just,
Yeah. Now it's incredibly true. Like, I don't dislike him as an actor in any way, but I'm also just like he could be better. Like there's probably somebody who could have acted better than Elijah Wood in this circumstance. And because he's a little bit wooden, he's not very charismatic, but he does the vulnerable things so well. He's like a puppy dog. What do you think of the Dark Lady look here? It was always a little odd to me.
yeah, it's a tiny bit overdone. I think. I mean, it's interesting. I didn't actually notice the first time I watched the movie. I remember like noticing it later and be like, oh wow, that she actually like is in armor and like looking, you know, like her clothes are. It's not just like the lighting that changes. Like she's literally in a different outfit. It's it gets the point across. It's not my favorite scene, but it definitely is effective at saying what it's trying to say about, again, the danger of giving this ring to even the best people.
Yeah. The Ring of Adamant. I always thought that was a really cool title. I don't know why.
Yeah. But this is another just an iconic line here. This task was appointed to you.
It really drives home because there's that idea of like, why didn't he like give the ring to somebody else, right? It's because he just got told by this prophetess angel demigod lady that this task is appointed to you, and if you don't find a way, it's not going to happen.
But he's also being given the hope here, and that's like there's power in that, which is he's never been promised that it's guaranteed or that it's easy or anything, but it's just the idea that this is your task, and he's given the hope that it is possible. There's I this is a weird thing to bring up in the middle of Lord of the Rings, but I kind of compare it to Alfred's speech in Dark Knight of just, you know, what you have me do, and it's endure. Just like you're kind of being told this is hard, but you need to do it. That this is so important, and you're the one for it, and it, you know, and yeah, it does. It's hard and it sucks, but
yeah,
it also has purpose and meaning, and people need that. Like that is an essential part of life, to have a reason. And anyways,
no,
Orikai gearing up scene.
It's like the opposite of Commando.
Oh man, these guys. I mean, I so many behind the scenes show that the stunt guys that played Orikai and stuff. These guys, I mean, all the orcs, goblins, and Orikai specifically, though, just had a great time. They were into it.
Oh yeah.
I guess too, like a lot of those stunt guys got really close with like Viggo over the year or two. Also, just like, they were in premieres and just like had a lot of their. Especially the ones who shot, I guess, the Helm's Deep sequence, you know, just over the couple months of night shoots to make that thing happen. Just really bonded. Bonded in the misery.
I bet. That could not have been a fun shoot, man.
But again, like, I mean,
that would have been
just good
a
makeup
crap
job.
shoot, even.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love the makeup and prosthetics in this. It all looks so good. And it's like, it's hard to even really describe like how good it seems. I know that's kind of a weird way to put it. It's just in comparison to so many other things out there that have done all kinds of cool prosthetics, whether it's Star Wars, Star Trek, other fantasy TV shows, movies, nothing looks as good as The Lord of the Rings, and I don't know why.
I love this.
Is it just that much passion and effort put into it? I don't know.
Just a great little sorry. Just again,
it's hilarious. It's a great scene.
Oh, it is. Well, and again, the Merry and Pippin stuff, they do such a great job of not overdoing it. They let the moments be great, and they never like saturate you with them. It's just it's just funny. It's good. But yeah, no, I hear you. It's there's a handful of other examples, I think, where just the makeup work and the effects work is just really good. Like I actually think Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi is pretty high up there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
As
I
far
love me
as
some
it's just
Jabba.
something that is on the same level. And I actually do think that there's some stuff in Star Trek that's pretty. I mean, gosh, Deep Space Nine, the amount of creatures that they did that came through that station, the amount of foreheads and random things that like the makeup job they would do.
Mm.
Mike, is it Michael Westmore? Was the
I don't know,
No, that's
but
not it. But
I was thinking of uh
but this is definitely like like there's nothing I can think of even remotely that would be a higher standard than this for sure.
like Star Trek Beyond, I remember specifically did really good with its prosthetic and its makeup. But again, it doesn't feel like anybody's been able to do it better or as good than Lord of the Rings, you know?
Yeah. It's there's probably some really well done like horror movies out there, but
Mm.
yeah, no, it is in a league of its own, and I also think that this is where I think fantasy lends itself to really interesting makeup jobs, almost better than science fiction. That might be heresy to some people, but there's just something about like an old fantasy world that just asks for just fantastic makeup work for the creatures. And I think a part of it is just the age of the world that you're in. That like people have been on, this ground, in these hills, in these caves, living in these towns, for thousands of years. And there's just something about that lends itself to a different feel than space.
Yeah, I could see that.
Mm.
The I love this the gifting scene.
Yeah.
Like it's so well done for the characters, you know? Um it's right out of the books in a lot of ways. One of the things that's not in the movies, it technically appears in Two Towers at one point, but barely, is a box that she gives to Sam.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in this box, yeah, the seed of the party tree. Um, yeah, is the seed of this tree. And in at the end, when they get back to Hobbiton, and it's like destroyed, right? Um, the party tree that we saw briefly at the beginning, it's a giant tree that's in the middle of Hobbiton, is destroyed and burnt down. And so when Sam becomes mayor and he comes back and they save it from the invasion, he takes the seed that Galadriel gave him and plants it. And it's the last seed in Middle Earth to these giant trees in which they've built in Lothlorien, that they've grown in Lothlorien and have made their homes from. And it blooms into this huge, giant elven tree that's the new party tree of Hobbiton, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that, and that's just because I think that they briefly mention it. They kind of show it like in Sam's it's with his stuff.
Yeah, it's like spices. He talks about it in the extended edition of the Two Towers. But that scene of her on the beach or the shore, putting up her hand at them. Did you get Indiana Jones? And
The Last Crusade, the night,
the Last
end?
Crusade.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, this is such a
Always
great
got
little...
that vibe from that scene.
I think this right here too, them being in the boat together, is also kind of a beginning of their friendship in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole scene is great. These boats are great too. Just like cool looking little boats.
And the way that they're paddling is the correct way that you're supposed to be paddling in a boat, which is noteworthy because later when it's Frodo and Sam trying to get across, they're awful at it. It's almost painful to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely beautiful. And it was like a quarry or something.
Yeah, and we here we go.
Oh, the music.
Yep.
That
helicopter
Uruk-hai
shot.
Orthanc music.
Yeah.
And this orc is apparently named Lurtz. And I don't know where, I think maybe it's in the credits or something, that okay, his name is Lurtz, but the actor shows up in multiple different roles. He's in Return of the King. He's the Sauron orc, um, the like orc commander.
With like the big growth out of his head.
Well, it's not a growth out of its head. He's missing an eye. And it's like puffy and scarred over. He's also missing 3 fingers.
That's right. He's the one that he spits on the piece of debris that they fling out of the right at the army on the Pelennor field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be almost like a cloned body of Sauron. There's a weird thing to it. I don't fully understand it, but I thought it was kind of cool too.
Was Gollum in the theatrical right here? Is it this?
No, this is added.
Okay, I'm about to say I don't remember this in the theatrical version.
Yeah.
He's too clever.
And that's a little thing. He's too clever waterman because he's a water hobbit.
Yep. He's perfectly fine with the water.
It's all connected. It's all connected. Take that.
Sam just trying to keep Frodo cheered. He's just trying to take care of him.
Yeah.
But also too, I think, and it brings it up more than once, but just, Sam going like Gandalf, right here, just Gandalf made me promise to take, that's something that Sam takes so seriously. And especially after Gandalf died. Because, you forget sometimes that Sam and Frodo, they have no idea that Gandalf comes back, and like they're long gone. Like they don't get that big shot in the arm of kind of a morale boost of Gandalf coming back.
Not for a very long time.
They take how they're feeling here, and they have to live with that. Quite a ways further than Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli.
Yeah, quite a long time. And this is another one of those things that they have another conversation here. They do really well at being able to establish this relationship as being like they're bonding, but they're also rivals, and they've got these legitimate gripes against each other. And it's easy to see their point of view, And it's like that it's going to come to a head, but you don't know exactly how. And Sean Bean's just scowly face.
Yeah. I also like how they're just kind of cutting together this trip of just, these conversations. Obviously, it's been a couple days. They're being pursued, but they don't really know about it. Oh man, they look so good. I love how you can see these are chiseled out. The little just they get the scale right. Oh, it just looks so cool.
And that's one of the things that's really hard to get is the scale correct.
Yeah. I remember
I wish that we could actually make stuff like this in real life. I mean, we have some statues that are impressive. Statue of Liberty, the statue of Genghis Khan and the Great Buddha and stuff like that. But I want something like that,
Yeah, and that shot of the foot really helps sell it too. But and the fact you can see they were cut out of the right here, like right up the side, or the quarry right there.
And the striations there. It looks so real. And I mean, it's legendary enough that even so much later, they're referencing it and tributing it in stuff like the Ahsoka series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just good stuff.
But oh gosh, what did I lost my train of thought. Anyways, it's really good. It's something that they look grand, and I love all the detail of them. But I was gonna say the kind of the final.
I love good grandiosity.
What's that?
I love good grandiosity. This is like a 5-act movie, isn't it?
Oh yeah, this is not a 3-act. Yeah, none of these are 3 acts. if they are, you can put 3 acts into each 3 acts.
Yeah. I honestly believe that you could cut the Lord of the Rings up into 45-minute segments, and they would be just solid episodes. It's similar to the movie The Batman. Big fan of The Batman. The recent one from 2023 with Robert Pattinson as Batman. It's a long movie. It's 3 hours long, and you can actually cut it up almost perfectly into 40 to 45-minute segments and watch it like a miniseries. And Lord of the Rings is the same way. My wife says that she's interested in seeing it, but she always gets so bored trying to watch it because it's just each one's so long and she has a really short attention span. But I'm like, I'm going to cut these up into 40-minute chunks and we're going to watch The Lord of the Rings. And it's actually fairly easy with this first movie.
Yeah.
The extended edition, you can turn this into 3 episodes or actually 4 episodes of a TV show quite easily.
Yeah.
I love this.
This is a part 2 where I think the ruins really kind of add a lot. Again, just the fact that this is just, it's because they do such a good job of just making it feel old and overgrown. You know, when you get up to the spot where kind of Aragorn starts fighting from, that little like kind of broken down platform, the head here, it's all, you know, kind of in the shadow of this, you know, this, it's cool. Again, this world feels like this is a story taking place in a world where many stories have happened.
Mm-hmm. So hard to do, you know? Because there's like a couple things. There's this one TV show that I was watching for a little while called the Shannara Chronicles. And it wasn't very good, though it does have some like Star Trek jokes in it because it actually takes place in a world where elves exist in a post-apocalyptic version of Earth. And the elves are like watching Star Trek, hailing the great elf heroes of old. But they have all these like human ruins and stuff like that. But it doesn't hit the same. The same thing happened with the Wheel of Time TV show. It's like, oh, this isn't the ruins of some old interesting civilization. This is just semi-post-apocalyptic, sort of. And I don't like it. I want more Lord of the Rings-esque ruins. I want something that's mysterious that's going to make me go, ooh, I want to know what that deal is. Like Rogue One, okay? Jeddah, and all like the Jedi ruins and stuff like that. I want to know more about that.
Oh, this is...
But that's just a me thing.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just talking over this. This is important.
Well, and also, like, it's well shot. Like, the bit of music there and the fact that music kind of cuts out for a second and then comes back, and just Boromir just, again, Sean Bean just is acting the heck out of this thing. And then here, just like his turn when he just slips here. And
I mean, I feel like this is something that we kind of can all empathize with to an extent, in that, like, we all have those moments of weakness, of temper, of anger that come out, right? And sometimes it just takes that one jolt where you suddenly realize how stupid you've been.
Yeah.
How much, and I don't know. I always thought that it was really good.
Well, I think it's also it helps make his death more impactful, and
yeah,
because you see that like what he's gone through, the character journey he's gone through. If he hadn't died, what an amazing asset he would have been to Aragorn, right?
Yeah.
You're losing the potential of the lessons that he learned and what that would have done to grow him. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, it's just this platform here, where a lot of this action takes place, is from the lore. It's like a seeing seat for kings to like use Palantirs.
Mm.
This subtle little acting thing where for a moment it makes him sing angry, it makes him seem predatory.
This moment though, this is just another man. I mean, actually, Elijah Wood's great here, but then the way that Viggo just comes in, he doesn't have a lot of dialogue, but just it's on his face, and just watching him.
It's the temptation.
Yeah, that he is tempted by it. I mean, he's not above it, but just to show this, like, what a fantastic way to just also be like, no, he's like you said, he's the guy you want to show up because that's what he does.
He'll make it right. And actually, I think it was actually Caravan of Garbage who said that. Like when he shows up, you're like, okay, things are solved. He's here.
Yeah. But it's I would have followed you to the end. Hmm.
Yeah, this decision to go by himself. It's
And
toughy
seeing
time.
his sword and it's just good.
Yeah.
It's just such a good transition to an action scene here.
Hmm.
Oh, and
Very
I
much
love
right.
the little moment when he like kind of touches his sword to his forehead. Just that little bit of, all right, it's go time.
Yeah, this action sequence is one of my favorites in the entire series. It like I felt that the battles in the third one were starting to get a little bit too big,
Yeah.
too epic. Helm's Deep is like the perfect epic battle
Mm-hmm.
sequence, but nothing is better in movies for me anyway, and TV shows and such than having a small group of heroes versus a larger, not huge, but larger, but formidable force, which is something that I feel the Avengers movies did not do well.
No.
They always had them just up against a whole bunch of,
Love that.
CGI minions.
I always love the stab with the arrow, then shoot the arrow. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they got creative with Legolas and stuff. Yeah, no, I agree. The Avengers fighting a CG army of copy paste assets was always a little frustrating. No, I agree. The Return of the King, it's an epic film. It's a very very good movie, and it's still to me a 10 out of 10. But yeah, you lose some of that intimacy of combat. Pelennor Fields is so. I mean, when we get there, we'll talk about it in more detail. But it starts to get just noisy. It's just kind of
Yeah.
just so much going. I mean, it's an achievement. It's massively. But yeah, Helm's Deep. Like this is amazing to me. Helm's Deep is kind of the like pinnacle of the action scenes in this
Yeah.
in this series. And then Return of the King is amazing, but Helm's Deep is just so good. And this though as a
Hmm.
just because you get this culmination of Aragorn and then Gimli and Legolas get little moments here. It's this is
Yeah.
great. This is great.
Everybody gets moments in this thing.
Yeah. You even
You
get
know?
little Merry and Pippin. When they and there's this is edited well in that there's two ways to kind of edit a fight. You either do kind of the modern stuntman work where you do long takes where you really show off the work that either a stuntman or an actor has put into their combat sequence, or you do really well edited hero moments kind of linked together, and you follow
Yeah.
and I like the way that, I mean, this is just a really good example of have your character to character, you get your little moments here and there. This is probably one of the longest single shots in the entire battle right here
Mhm.
with Legolas shooting arrows. I like
Yeah,
it a
I've
lot.
seen a thing of actual archers trying to replicate it, and he moves at so fast a speed that it's superhuman.
Do you know if they did they aid Orlando Bloom digitally there?
Oh yeah. There was definitely a little bit of speeding up of the stuntman that they have, but it's still really well done. And it's like, yep, he has to be an elf.
Yeah. But if you've established that, it doesn't take you out of it at all because you're expecting him to be a little bit superhuman.
Yeah, it's like
I
necessary.
I always liked the fact that in the books they actually talked about Legolas like, collecting his arrows after a battle. Like it's not like he just had
Hmm.
a quiver with a replicator in it.
Yeah. Um, the inclusion of the Horn of Gondor is really good in this to me. Um, because it's just like such an important thing for uh what's his face, right?
Yeah.
For Boromir.
Well,
The
yeah,
significance of the horn, and also the fact that like it's cloven in two, you
yeah.
know?
Well, it's such a big part. Yeah, when we get to Faramir later, just it's yeah.
Mm.
Oh man,
Just that bow, that's got to be like 150-pound pull on that thing. It's nuts. Ugh,
well,
poor
there's
buddy.
the other thing that makes this just be a real like just has impact, and they do it. I don't know, subtly through just body movement, like I kind of just body language, other things. That this Orakai is like not showing any kind of respect for just like there's no like you're a warrior, I'm a warrior kind of a thing. It's just like despite the fight that Boromir is putting up here, it's just like it makes it that much worse in a way that's effective, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just like
This is just one of the.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is just one of the best last stands in movies. Like this whole thing of him, he keeps going. He's got 2 arrows in him here.
Yeah.
And he keeps going. In the book, you don't see him get hit. Aragorn finds him. And he's pierced with many arrows, and it's actually kind of funny. His horn just split. You see that the third arrow split his horn in half. The horn of Gondor is split in his lap. His sword is broken, and there's at least 24 dead orcs at his feet. And the kind of idea, the implication is that he was so deadly with his sword, even broken, he was fighting him off for so long that they had to stand back and pepper him with arrows instead.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it is the hero's death.
Yeah. Oh, it's just so...
Because...
Yeah. And I'm glad that I'm glad that they this is a situation where I'm so glad that they didn't follow the book here and let Aragorn show up and have this. I mean, he hits a really cool duel here, and you want to see this particular Orakai die, and then giving Sean Bean and Aragorn, I keep mixing up the actors' names with the characters' names, but just giving them the last moment together. I'm glad that they made it. I would call it an improvement over the way Tolkien wrote it.
Yeah. Well, Tolkien didn't write action.
Yeah. The action happened mostly off screen or off page.
I mean, think about The Hobbit. The whole Battle of the Five Armies happened while Bilbo was unconscious.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So much character, even in this just random little thing. You want to talk about that knife?
I mean, the elven knife?
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean,
his, hit...
Well, he, deflects it? Sorry. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
What specifically are you thinking of?
The fact that he actually hit it out of the air and it wasn't
yeah. Sorry, I forgot. I honestly had forgotten. It's okay. Sorry, I want to correct something. I guess I don't think this is better than what Tolkien wrote, because finding Boromir and summarizing what happened is very effective when you're reading words. But if you Because when you write in a book, you can have all those. You can tell the audience what to infer from what you found, because you're literally writing the thoughts of somebody else. But in an adaptation visually, this is a better way to do it, hands down, in my opinion. So I'm not trying to say this is better as in the book should have written it this way, but as an adaptation,
this is better for a visual medium.
It absolutely is. Yeah, and this is such a great just moment between these two actors. Although apparently, do you remember Sean Bean in the appendix is talking about that they the way that the structure was filmed, that they were doing lunch. It's all right, break for lunch, lay back down, and we got to finish our death scene. Just
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like how at the end they have the Boromir in the boat, and see the pile of dead orcs there and everything like that. They did that very specifically. But the Boromir in the boat is actually a dummy. But it was so good that somebody was like, "Hey, Sean, what do you want for lunch?"
Man.
My brother, my captain, my king. It's just that's peak writing right there. This is. I have seen people write entire monologues on why this relationship is kind of what men crave.
Oh yeah.
in the primal parts of our soul, you know?
Well, it's brotherhood, camaraderie, just like that. I mean, it is. This is Henry V stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Yeah, but it's I love it. In a minute here when he gets his bracers, yeah, the pile of orcs, it's fantastic, and it's
Yeah. The
there's
bracers thing was Viggo Mortensen's idea, and he wears them all the way to the end. And when they have that moment in Return of the King where you're seeing like a flash forward of Aragorn dead and Arwen like kissing the forehead of his corpse
yeah, he's still got
as
him
an
on.
old man, he's still got him on.
Yeah. The other thing I was gonna say, I love that this film makes it feel authentic is they don't insist on, like, Viggo Mortensen's not the kind of actor who insists on looking good all the time. They let him be sweaty and bloody and dirty, and there's just and all the actors except for Legolas, of course, because elves have to look perfect all the time. But
Yeah, there's a problem with like pretty boys in action movies and especially fantasy. They keep them too pretty.
yeah,
It's weird. I mean, I'm thinking movies like Aragon, okay? Not Aragorn, Aragon, the dragon
it's that
movie.
dragon movie from like, the kids book or whatever.
Yeah. Even stuff like looking at Gods of Egypt, and they don't make they have these, little twink looking main characters, and they don't get like a hair out of place.
Yeah,
Or if they do, it's like a light glisten.
it's funny because
It's awful.
you were talking about your sister earlier with Orlando Bloom, and I know that many women felt this way, but the women that I knew, they were very much, so to speak, team Vigo. It was they liked him. I'll put it that way. It's just that type of masculinity that like I don't look perfect because I'm just that amazing. Oh, remember Sean Astin here? Gnarly cut up his foot running into this river.
Yeah, like he stepped on like a nail or a spike or something, and he had to go to the hospital.
Yeah,
It's really bad.
Sliced his foot.
Poor
I mean,
buddy.
yeah, like right through the Hobbit feet.
Yeah, I mean, little silicon pads aren't gonna
No, they're not gonna do
help
much.
with that.
So here, they kind of get mic'd up. Like the idea that like Sam is like gonna swim. Like I almost wish they had pointed that out a little bit to kind of again underline. Man, Frodo got out there already pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like as close as this movie gets to kind of,
A crappy scene.
yeah. It's just because one, the distance and like how far down he is, and kind of how long they let it. It's a little too melodramatic for me, I guess. The way it's shot up it's not shot up, set up.
It's also one of my greatest pet peeves. It's a dry for wet scene. They filmed
Yeah.
it dry and then put a wet filter on it.
Yeah, because he's obviously there's
I
not
hate
water.
that so much.
Yeah, that's probably the worst shot in the entire movie.
I'm not necessarily in the whole series, but it might be in the whole series.
Yeah, but this, I mean, but then I think again though, you move past it so fast to this amazing exchange
Yeah.
because it's just, again, Sean Astin is just dripping wet, just letting this be, just play raw in a way that's so genuine feeling. And like we were talking about, just that friendship that, you call this a bro movie, a dude movie, whatever you want to call it, but like guys do crave these kind of relationships. They're just like, no, we're brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's one of the things, like
good.
Captain America and the Winter Soldier, right? Steve and Bucky.
Mm-hmm.
And you get people who insist that they need to make these characters gay because of the close bond that they have. And I get people wanting representation in films and yada, 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 but at the cost of showing these just important, incredibly healthy bonds of brotherhood that men have. And it's so important for them to learn that's not actively being taught.
Yeah.
And stories like this are just so important for that kind of behavior, that kind of modeling, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Modeling that kind of behavior. And I never want to see it undermined by
Well, it's
the burden that is sexuality.
yeah. You can have you can I mean, again, for the sake of diversity, you can have all of it. I mean, that's really what it would be. That because they're I mean, are are gay relationships a thing? Of course they are. I mean, agree or not agree with them, they absolutely are a real thing. But so is this kind of thing, and it's a valuable and real thing that it's kind of weirdly missing for a lot of guys' lives in culture today. But yeah, I think that there's so many layers of themes, and male friendship is a big one in this trilogy.
I also really don't like the "Let's hunt some orc" line. It kind of makes me mad, actually.
I mean,
it's like no, not that. Like a little too cheesy there. Pull back.
Well, it's because I think you could have just left it at we're going after Merry and Pippin is what we're doing. Like that's their motivation. Yeah. Now this weekend they're like on a parking lot, right? Just like it's like gotta shoot this. We gotta get this scene done. Like they're like 15 feet out of like this the stage door or whatever. It's like gotta get this shot done. Oh man, they shot a lot of stuff.
Just like put a green screen in the back, get them in costume.
Yeah, well, because they were on a budget. They were on a time budget where they had to get something done every day, basically. And so it was just
they had 3 units going at all times, almost at all times, where they would have like 3 hours of dailies running at a time. Literally, they had the director, first and second unit, and third unit all going at the same time, filming.
Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable how they got this done. And God, Peter Jackson must be half ulcer.
Yeah. Well, that's where I feel, I think that you, oh man, this is a movie just like, this might seem weird, but I think people who know, I have never just turned off the movie before the credits ended on these. Every time I'm not always sat and watched them. I'm not going to like try to pretend I've done that, but I've always let them play, partially because of the music, because it's just so good.
Nerd.
But it's also just a little bit of I don't know, just respect, because like you just said, this was not like some cheap indie movie, but this was a passion project. This movie was made not because they had a big check written. This movie was made because these people wanted to make it so badly, and it just drips through every scene. That it's just, you go from everything from the people making armor and weapons, the people making costumes and like making sure that the right materials used on the buttons, and you get the guy the pair of people making chainmail because they figured out that slicing up rubber hose like this perfect diameter and painting it like looked perfect, and just sitting there making arm. It's just like all that stuff just comes together. And you can't.
That's actually one of the things I was going to mention, because they literally had these guys making so much chainmail, it rubbed their fingerprints off.
Yeah, it just. But like, and I'm sure the guys were paid, but you can't manufacture passion. You can't just hire a crew to care about a movie, because most movies are made by people who enjoy making movies, like they're in the industry because they like making movies. But I think real passion for a specific film is not something that's super common, and this is one of the few like big blockbusters that I think has that.
So much, because one of the things, the superpower, okay, that what's his face, Peter Jackson has, isn't actually making a movie. It's knowing how to work the studio. and that's not an exaggeration. He legitimately knows the right people to call, how to talk to them, how to get them to agree to just some crazy stuff, so that way he can get these movies made. And it's amazing. It's, all respect to Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
He's forever.
I think that it's interesting. Have we talked about this before? Peter Jackson being compared to George Lucas.
And kind of like the way that he's more of a special effects guy than he is actually a director. Like
Well,
he's a better director.
oh, he absolutely is. But I was going to say, I think one of Lucas's kind of superpowers, and I think Jackson also has that, is finding like putting together a team, like just attracting talent that just can deliver results. I think that's Lucas, of course, he did it famously in the original trilogy, but then even later on, just the people that wanted to work on it and wanted to get involved in it and just kind of passionately got into it is a real key ingredient that I think that's something that George Lucas doesn't get a lot of credit for. But I think Peter Jackson, the same thing. I mean, the people, the team, I mean, the list of people that worked on this, that when you talk to them, I mean, even to this day, 25 years later, they get interviewed about it still, and they're just like, oh yeah, and they're still like just as passionate about talking about it and sharing the stories and just the process that went in, and the army of people that were making the bigatures and painting and sculpting and flying around, just like and the support too of the New Zealand, even of just like the excitement of like, we're bringing this thing to life. That is something that is a really important skill for somebody who's going to lead a thing like this.
And it's so important to mention like New Zealand in that way, like because New Zealand was the wrong word there. It's so important to mention his talents. I
was wondering. I was like, all right.
That was weird. It's so important to mention his talents in that way because I genuinely find that it's like so sad that he doesn't do more, but he's also just like so burnt out, right?
Well,
as a director,
he kind of. The sports analogy just kind of left it all on the field, right? Just like that's it. That's what I had.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the Hobbit movies fell apart because of studio interference and all these other problems. And they were going to be directed by Guillermo del Toro, and he was really passionate about it, but they changed his vision so much that he was like, I can't do this anymore. And he left the project to do I think it was Pacific Rim actually, and they pretty much went to Peter Jackson and said, hey, please help us, please make these movies. And he dealt with so much crap from the studio because of because of their choices there, and he essentially had like a nervous breakdown and has only made documentaries since.
Yeah, he did like the Beatles thing, right? And then like one other. Yeah, he just.
Oh yeah, no, the one that you would probably be most interested in, Brian, is called "And They Shall Not Grow Old," which is possibly one of the most incredible and poignant documentaries ever made, where he took old footage of World War I and put pretty much did recreations. They remastered old World War I footage of the troops, not of war or anything like that, but of the actual guys on the battlefield in the trenches, to kind of honor them. And it's incredible. Genuinely.
I didn't realize he did something like that. I definitely want to check that out. Yeah. Well, I think it probably helps him in a way that he's he doesn't live in Hollywood. He kind of stayed away from that and just it's like, nope, I'm not doing this. I mean, he deservedly so. That he made a small fortune on these movies, and I don't fault him at all for that. I'm glad that he just gets to just be like, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to do stuff I want to do. But I'm very grateful that he made this trilogy. I maybe that's a weird thing to say, but I feel genuine like gratitude towards him and all of the people. Just the cast and crew of this movie. I just like, if I ever saw them, with the thing I would want to say is I would just want to say thank you for making these. I appreciate it because you tried so hard and made something so amazing that has like genuinely enriched my life, and that means something. And I would want to say thank you.
Mm-hmm. Wholeheartedly agree. And we have
Yeah.
a lot more to watch of The Lord of the Rings. So
We
we're going to
do.
go ahead and cut this off short because we're going to end up saying stuff that we can say during those movies.
Oh, come on, man.
And that's a lot of time.
We got like 20 more minutes of credits. So I'm really fast. I want to say the extended cuts of these are always interesting because you've got the fact that they put right here what's going through the entire Lord of the Rings like fan club that like on because the internet was a very different thing in 2001, right?
Mm-hmm.
They put all these guys in here as just like a thank you to them, which is cool. And then after here, you get into like basically a whole other set of credits that's just for the extended the extended cut. So. But yeah, no, I understand. We will be back next week with part 1 of the Two Towers. Looking forward to that. Freaking love the Two Towers.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
That's a very legitimate thing to say. So, looking forward to it. Yeah, this has been great.
Whee!
See
Bye,
you next
everybody.
week. Bye.
All right.
See, now I have to just let this keep playing though, because I wasn't lying when I said I've always let the credits play out on this.
No, 100%.
And it is a long man. We still have
got
18
to bed,
minutes.
though. My cats were fighting for some stupid reason.
You're fine. I think people will understand.
All
All right, man. Well,
All
not
right.
too bad.
Cheers.
Not 9:20.
Yeah.
So next Friday, we're good, right?
Unless I get asked to work, I
Okay.
will let you know on Tuesday.
Okay. I should be flexible if you need me to be. So just let me know.
Yeah, I don't have anything scheduled. Wait, no, next Friday I already asked off. Remember we did both tonight, so that way we would have next Friday
Oh.
off.
That's right, because we're gonna do Two Towers the same way we're doing this one, right?
Yeah, that's the goal anyway. But
Okay.
yeah, the next Friday
like a
is
birthday or something, right?
Halloween.
Oh, Halloween. That's right. Okay. Awesome, man.
Rissa likes to celebrate Halloween, but I also might just be working, so
Yeah.
who knows? We'll find out.
All right.
Have a good one, sir. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Miss you, Brian.
You too.
There's doors and corners, kid. If you don't clear the room, if you don't come in slow,